In this video, we're going to see how to install Visual Studio Code and set it up to work with C++ on Linux. I will be using my Ubuntu machine. I think it is Ubuntu 2004, and that's going to be a reference for whatever distribution you might be using. So let's head over to our browser and search for Visual Studio Code. We're going to search for this. And I want you to click on this entry here that says Visual Studio Code, and the link is right here. It says codevisualstudio.com. You are going to click on this, and this is going to take you to the website for Visual Studio Code. You will have a bunch of download options, and if you scroll down, you're going to see one for Windows, one for Linux, and one for Mac. Because I am on Ubuntu, I can download the Debian one here. You are going to download this and install this on your Linux machine. Once you have it installed, you will start Visual Studio Code. And to start Visual Studio Code, you can go in a folder somewhere on your Linux machine. I am in the folder called some project here, which is in my user directory, as you can see here. I am going to start Visual Studio Code by running the code command and specifying that I want it to run in the current folder. When I do that, Visual Studio Code is going to start up. Let's wait for it. Okay, it is going to show up here, and it's going to ask me if I trust the folder here. I trust it because I am the creator of this folder. And Visual Studio Code is going to open up here. If it is the first time you start it, you are probably going to see this window here welcoming you to Visual Studio Code. But because we want Visual Studio Code to work for C++, we need to install a C++ extension to work in Visual Studio Code. And to install extension, you need to come to this tab here. If you hover over it, it is going to say extensions. Click on it. And it is going to show you a bunch of extensions you can install. We want to install one to work with C++, and I want you to search for C and C++ like I do here. And if you type this, one extension is going to show up to the top saying Microsoft. Its name is going to be C and C++ IntelliSense Debugging and whatever. I want you to click on this, and you will install it and enable it. For you, it is probably going to show a button saying install or something like that. You need to click on that and get this installed. And once you have it installed, your Visual Studio Code instance is going to be ready to work with C++. And that's really all I had to share with you in this lecture, installing Visual Studio Code and installing this extension that allows it to work with C and C++ compilers. And that's going to allow us to run C++ 20 code right from Visual Studio Code, and that's going to be really cool. So we are going to stop here in this lecture. The next one we're going to start and show you how to install compilers, and later on I am going to show you how to connect those compilers to work with Visual Studio Code. So go ahead and finish up here and meet me in the next lecture.